So I'm not here to explain every single setting. It's going to take too long. First thing first, if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, for example, you could see I'm using a controller. Well, you can't see. You're just going to have to take my word for it. And I have my steering wheel plugged in. You're going to want to actually hit the PlayStation button or the Xbox button or whatever on your actual steering wheel so that this comes up even though it's already connected. Otherwise, it's not going to register in the game. I'm turning my steering wheel and nothing's happening. So now we can log in. Now I can turn my steering wheel and it works. Now I can use my analog stick and it works. Okay? So that's the beauty of that. Okay, now on to the settings. What's really, really important is you can use your controller initially to maneuver, to campaign, and then go to settings, but don't go in settings with the controller, because here's what happens if you go in with the controller. Again, this is the controller. Go to advanced controls. When you go all the way down, what's the last setting you see? It's vibration scale. Okay? And what is my steering inside dead zone? It's at 5. Remember that. 5 and vibration scale at the bottom. Now I'm going to back out. I'm going to back out. Now I'm going to hit X on my Logitech. Okay? Now I'm going to go to advanced controls. All of a sudden, what is my dead zone at? It's not at 5, it's at 0. What is at the end? Is it vibration scale? It is not. Because look at all these extra settings from force feedback scale all the way down. Okay? So this is what my settings are. You're going to want to pause it like that. I don't want to have to explain, like I said. Steering axis dead zone inside. From there all the way down to force feedback scale. The reason I have a lot of these low, in case you're wondering, is because I play on a sit-stand desk. And even though it's a very sturdy desk, I have a DSLR camera, this, that, and the other thing. Sometimes I have my Diet Pepsi like a real Jean-Guy. And I don't want shit going all over the place. Okay? So that's why these are my favorite settings. They're not the best. They're the best for me. Force feedback scale. Force feedback scale right to the bottom. Whoops. Yeah, so that top half went all the way there. Everything under the red here is the second set, like the remainder of the settings. I'll explain a few, like center spring scale, these two here. I cranked those up a little bit to make up for the fact that my overall force feedback is actually quite low. The force feedback minimum force is just that. It's the minimum at which it could go, so it gives us a better range. The road feel scale, again, I don't want to feel too much. So 0.5 off-road, trust me, you're still going to feel it. It was to the point where even at the default settings, I would hit like a patch of grass and a rock and my steering wheel was shaking violently. But when I was on the road, I felt nothing. And to me, that wasn't realistic. I was just kind of giving you like a quick gist as to the logic behind some of my settings. This is set to like 100 or something by default. I don't know what it is. Yeah, that'll make 180. You could play with this, but you'll move your wheel like 2 degrees and it'll act as if you made a full turn. Because 900's like the real deal. So these three here are kind of new in a way. There is a sensitivity one on PC, but this is the first time that I play with the steering wheel on an actual console. I had it on Xbox Series X with a controller. I have it on Steam and the Xbox app. Don't ask, 2 different accounts. That one doesn't have these ones here. It's new to the PS5. I am on the PS5. So these three here are going to be different if you were used to playing, on PC before and you made your move over to console. So these you could play with, again, the sensitivity. I even tried it at 50. Yeah, it wasn't actually too bad. That was the lowest. But that's essentially the gist of it here. This has to be under 5 minutes. I do not want to make this too long. You can obviously change the controls. When it comes to the difficulty, honestly, whether you put it on simulation, traction, all this different stuff, it really doesn't freaking matter. It honestly doesn't. Okay, so now I'm using the steering wheel just really quick. I'm driving around, always in the cockpit. Otherwise, if you do this view, you know what I find? That it's almost nearly impossible to frickin' steer the car. Any car. Doesn't matter what the car is. Doesn't matter what the settings are. I can use a controller this way or inside the car, but with the steering wheel, it's very, very bizarre. It has to be like this or I can't play with the steering wheel. So keep that in mind. If you're playing in any other view than this one, you may find it really effing wonky, because here, when I'm moving the steering wheel, and I just busted over 5 minutes, you can actually see inside the wheel moving in real time as you're moving it. And remember, if it doesn't feel 100%, then go ahead, change the settings. I never claimed these were good, and don't forget, you're playing on a cheap-ass fucking steering wheel. These are like entry-line steering wheels. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. Now I'm going to use my controller. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. Whoops, the hell was that? And I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and if I'm lucky, just maybe, I will see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.